right, got the motor off the stand. Stands over there, motor's right here. Got it on the actual crane, the hoist. So I don't know if you can see, but I got a bolt down there. I've got 2 bolts. I Loctited both of them from the plate to the block. Here's the Exetti triple, nice clutch. There's the alignment mark. Put the mono lock in that he had in his old clutch. So that is the ACT monolock. Got it in. Things worked fairly well. Like I said, sometimes clutch dust can kind of make them hard to take off, but oh well. So we're gonna mate the engine to the transmission, which is fairly easy. I do like dropping the engine and the transmission into the car at the same time. It makes it a lot easier. I mean, the way that you set it in, you know, you get her at a good angle and then you just kind of plop, you know. So that's my preferred way. These transmissions weigh like 139, 140 pounds. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of lifting those things. I do got a hoist and a trans jack, but it's easier this way, I found anyway. That's how I do it on my car all the time. But you know, new plates on, got the starter holes there, and yeah, time to get this bad boy mated. Alright, she is mated. FYI, it was brand new dowel pins. This is paint, so kind of had to, as you can tell, massage it with a little dead blow to get that bad boy in there, but we are golden. The only bummer part about this is I get to figure out what bolts are what, because I know that when this car was originally put together, he did not have all the original bolts for all these. Yeah, because there's a couple long ones, there's a couple medium ones, and there's a couple short ones. So probably going to be digging into my bolt bin to make sure, because that's a little on the long side, not bad. Same thing here, yeah, a little on the long side back there, yeah. So. All right, found a perfect one. You can tell, yep, right there. That'd be fucking great. This one has a ground strap on it, so you tighten it, but you end up loosening it up again. This one will work on the back of the block. Not the greatest choice for that one, to tell you the truth. And this one will work right here. Alright, all I got is one more. And I need one a little bit longer than this. This one will work, and then there's a 10 mil that goes right there. No big deal. Found a little longer bolt, be perfect for the back side. Yep. Now, this is the hidden bolt back behind the transfer case, the one you can't see me putting it in, but there is one bolt that's always behind and underneath the transfer case. You want that bolt. You don't want to not run that bolt. And voila, we're good. All right, guys, motor is in. Got a towel on it for now, obviously, but this car's been wrecked. So this is what I had to do. As you can tell, I have a come along on the frame right here to pull it together, because this bolt right here that you're looking at, no crap, was clear over here. For these motor mounts, you got to have a little closer, and this frame has been bent right here, so they did, you know, fix the car, but I had to come along the frame together to get this engine in. Never had to do that before, but the engine's in. Got the nice torque solution mounts on. I got to find another bolt for that to try to match these two. Rear motor mount isn't actually done yet. I got to kind of jack the motor back a little bit, because I don't know if you can see, but you can't, you know, this thing isn't lined up yet. No big deal, but I left this on to try to stress relieve, you know, kind of bring the front end together to kind of stress relieve, because that's a lot of stress on this part of the transmission. Not so much as concerned about with this motor mount right here, but that's still a lot of stress on that motor mount too. So basically trying to bring the front end together so everything works. And you know, it sucks, but you know, it is what it is at this point. But nope, motor's in, TRE transmission's in, you know, everything's good to go so far. Yeah, as you can tell, what I like to do on the transfer cases, so I like to take and put a strap up to the 2 bolts that actually do the strut bar. Do that and then hold it up out of the way, so you know, it holds it out of the way of the transmission. So once I get the transmission set in there and stuff, I'll slide it on, get that bad boy done. But I tie it over here to this mount to kind of pull the whole transfer case over, you know, with that, and then pull it up that way. So motor's in, we're good to go. And since I had such a problem with the frame, I went ahead and threw the timing belt on for now. But as you can see, it's not on because before we start the car, I want to prime the oil pump down there. You kind of see the end of the bolt sticking out there, but I like to prime the oil pump about when we're getting ready to start it. So the absolute last thing that I'm gonna do is put the timing belt on, get it all timed and everything, because once it's ready, once I get the ECU in and all that fun stuff, I'm gonna throw a drill on the oil pump and then try to get it up to, like, you know, 15 psi. But prime the entire engine, make sure the turbo's got oil, all of that. And also, when you're dropping an engine in and all that, I just want to show you that you do take the front spindles off of the struts, because you need that axle out as far as you can get, so you have the room to get everything in, and then you just push everything back in. But I need the through shaft in there once I get the transfer case on. I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's no shaft in there for this axle to bite to, so we're gonna get going on that. But on this side, same thing. You know, you pull the axle away. I don't know if you can see that, but there's the axle into the transfer case. And you know, anytime you're putting in a motor, transmission, all that, pull the spindles away from the struts. The ball joints are a little bit easier to deal with if you actually pop those. No, they're actually not easier to deal with. I lied. Ball joints are more of a pain in the ass to deal with, but then you don't actually mess up your alignment. This car hasn't been aligned yet, so I don't care. But I'll say this: if you actually if you mark your bolts when you pull them out of the strut to spindle, you mark them correctly, and you put them back in the way that you actually pulled them out, more than likely you're not going to mess with your actual alignment, so you're good to go. This poor car needs some stress relieving, so I'm just leaving this come along on here for a little while to try to pull the front end together so it doesn't break the actual transmission. So yeah, Mark, buddy, damn, dude, I didn't realize that this thing was that far out until we tried these Torque Solution mounts, and whoo, we're talking at least 3/4 of an inch too wide. The between strut tower to strut tower, it's splayed too far apart. I mean, this is actually going to kind of help tighten the car up and you know, make the front end work a little more. But I'll tell you this right now, once you ever pull this transmission out, dude, oh my god, it's going to be a pain in the ass. This bolt, it's going to be one of those where you're going to end up having to kind of hog out, you know, you're going to have to hog out the hole, you know, kind of oval to get it to work. So I didn't want to do that because I had the means of actually doing it, but holy crap, the tension that I have on this this come along is quite a bit. So I mean, it is what it is, you know. It's what happens when you get a car that was wrecked and they reform the front end to, you know, make everything work. So, but so far so good. Car's looking good, you know. Got this thing going together. So I figure here soon we'll be able to get this thing done. This car's got a lot of money in it, but just wanted to show you guys that, and promise I'll get on more of the videoing as I work and whatnot. So till next time, guys, later.